So welcome back. Tonight we're live with the Minister for Finance, Cassiel Forson. Is it Cassiel or Cassiel?
Cassiel.
Cassiel. What does it mean?
It's a biblical name.
Oh, really?
Yes, angelic.
Oh, I didn't know. Which part of the Bible?
Cassiel is an archangel.
Hey, I thought there was only Michael and...
No, it's an archangel.
Oh, so there's Angel Cassiel.
Angel Cassiel, responsible for Saturdays.
Who gave you that name?
My mother.
Oh, wow. But Atu means you were born on Saturday.
Atu was born on Saturday.
I see.
It goes with my first name.
Amazing. So when you entered Parliament in 2009, did you know you would become Minister of Finance one day?
Oh, certainly no. But we kept pushing. It's a matter of destiny.
Wow.
And it's destiny that has brought me this far.
What's your relationship with Professor Mills?
Professor Mills, you know, is also from my constituency.
I thought it was your neighboring constituency, Kumfi.
No, some else will tell you that Professor Mills comes from Enyandintra and
oh,
also
really?
Kumfi, yes.
Oh, okay.
So he comes from both Kumfi and Ejumaku and Enyanesiam.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So when you came down to be MP, he knew about it?
Yes.
And he encouraged you?
I mean, Professor Mills inspired all of us to join politics.
Wow. He will be very proud to see you as Minister of Finance.
Thanks.
Yeah. But you seem to have taken the work in your stride. At the Economic Forum, you looked very relaxed. And you read, I don't know, 45 slides. You did it very... Is it that you've always been waiting for this moment? Because it's almost the biggest position after President and Vice. But you didn't look fazed by it.
I think over the years, I've been prepared for this day. Working first as a member of the Finance Committee from 2009 to 2013.
Okay.
And then I was nominated as a Deputy Minister of Finance from 2013 to 2016. Then we lost election and I went to Parliament and I became the ranking member of the Finance Committee from 2017 to 2023. And I became minority leader from 2022 to 2025.
So it's always been finance for you?
It has always been finance. I've been working very close on issues of finance and economy in the last 16, 17 years. And I've seen both sides of it. I've seen times when I was a backbencher and a member of the Finance Committee as a floor member. I've seen it when I was a deputy minister. I've seen from the other side of it when I used to be the ranking member or the shadow finance minister for 7 years. And when I was elevated to become the minority leader, I still stayed on the Finance Committee. So this is something that I'm very used to.
When you were made minority leader, the chairman of the party said the 2024 election was an economic election. And he believed that because you were leading the economic effort, it would be good to put the economy at the front and center. So that was correct. The main, in your view, the 2024 election was about the economy.
It was. It was about the economy. And the results reflected. And the Afrobarometer report and other research that we have done internally pointed to the fact that the people of Ghana were indeed fed up with the state of the Ghanaian economy. We felt at a point that things were improving, only for us to get in and notice the magnitude. But I had always maintained that the government of the day at the time had failed to paint the true state of the Ghanaian economy. And that if you look at the transmissions of some of the economic policies, it doesn't reflect an economy that has turned the corner. And I'd always said also that the political class were failing at that time to tell the citizens the magnitude of the economic problem that we face. And clearly, we were not getting the right prescriptions to take us out of the mess. No wonder we are seeing what we are seeing. But as we've said, that is what we inherited. And we have a responsibility
we'll
to
get into that shortly. But
yes.
If the economy was the #1 issue, it also means that that's the issue that will determine whether President Mahama is considered a success or failure.
Exactly.
So in a sense, you have the most difficult job of all your colleagues.
I agree. And I commit to support the president to do just that.
So are you talking about the economy being worse than you thought because you want to manage expectations?
I'm saying this based on the numbers that we've seen. Numbers doesn't lie. 1 + 1 is 2. It's what we inherited. If I'd gone to the ministry and had inherited a very good economy, numbers will point to the fact that the economy that we inherited happens to be good. I can't cook those numbers. And so I'm not the one saying it, but evidence available at the Ministry of Finance point to the fact that the state of the Ghanaian economy is there, and we may have to take hard decisions this year to avert a possible second wave in the medium term.
So are you saying
that's what we are trying to do?
What you saw in the ministry was worse than what you were painting in opposition?
Exactly.
But that's serious, because in opposition you thought the economy was really, really bad.
Yes, because in opposition we were not having the full facts, and we were using data that were submitted to Parliament and some research from the Ministry of Finance's website and Bank of Ghana's website. We were not able to have the full complement of the information. We weren't aware of the state of, of the economy in terms of the amount of contracts they have awarded, the amount of IPCs that were waiting to be paid, the amount of money waiting at the controller to be paid, the state of the entire SOEs and all. We were not aware of it. But now that we've got
back you were in Parliament. I thought these things Parliament had to know. So if I ask you to give me 2 or 3 areas that you found things worse than you believed, what would they be?
Okay, so let me start from the fiscal situation. Ghana was in an IMF program, or we are still in an IMF program. The IMF program has imposed certain conditionalities and certain structural benchmarks, as well as key quantitative performance criteria. These QPCs were the anchor of the program. The main anchor of the IMF program has to do with primary balance on commitment basis. Simple put, your debt at the time wasn't sustainable. And so the best way for you to bring your debt to sustainable levels is for you to do a couple of stuff. The first was to do debt restructuring. And the debt restructuring was structured in such a way that the average bondholder was going to accept a haircut. And so you could see that the adjustment was actually coming from debt haircut. And then some taxes were imposed with a view that the primary balance was going to move from a deficit to a surplus. The year 2024, we were told, and Parliament approved, and the government committed to IMF to do a primary surplus of 0.5% of GDP. Simple put, they were not going to borrow to service the debt, because the primary balance is the main anchor for debt accumulation. And so if you introduce a surplus, it simply means that you are not borrowing to pay your debt.
So you wanted a surplus of 0.5%, primary surplus?
Yes, then it means in rare times you are reducing your debt by 0.5%.
Good.
Now, what we have seen is that instead of 0.5% of GDP, they've done surplus. They've done a deficit of 3.9% of GDP. So that tells you that they have deviated by 4.4% of GDP. Gargantuan. And how did we arrive at this? When I went in as a minister on the 23rd of January, my office was full of requests for payment.
When you got there on 23rd
of January,
there were people who had requested payments.
Waiting for payments. And I said, why should I start paying when I don't know the situation? So it was coming, kept coming from everywhere. And so I said, hang on a second, let us write to all MDAs to bring the amount of money that are being owed. And so the MDAs supplied us with those information. I was surprised. they brought about 60-something billion cedis. So I said, okay, them sending it by email and posting it and bringing letters to the office does not validate it. So I want to have a special hearing ahead of the budget hearing. So we started special hearings by inviting every sector minister together with chief directors to appear. Some ministries were not having.
So these are the outgoing, in a
outgoing.
way, the old team.
Yes. No, the existing team.
Okay, the new team.
Some ministers were not having some ministries were not having ministers.
But the chief directors
so
came.
the chief directors came.
Okay.
And so this data that I requested were largely supplied by the chief directors.
Good.
And so they brought all the information. And I said to them that, let me know the true situation so I can plan.
And you asked them to present essentially the monies that were due to be paid.
Due to be paid and contract that has been awarded.
Contracts awarded, the money is due.
And due. My money is due. And so, cumulatively, we found out this. We found out that the MDAs have awarded contract in excess of $195 billion.
Not cedis.
Billion cedis. 195 billion cedis.
MDAs.
Yes.
Contracts.
MDAs are ministries, departments, and agencies.
195 billion cedis.
Billion cedis.
Okay.
Then aside that, the MDAs have generated certificates that are yet to be paid. And the certificates are in two kinds. Those that have gone through Ministry of Finance had been processed to the Controller and Accountant General, 18.2 billion cedis. Then another 49.6 or 5 billion cedis were certificates that are yet to be processed to the Controller and Accountant General's Department for Payment. So I was alarmed.
So that's like 67 billion.
67.5 billion cedis.
In
certificate, contractors who have
which means they performed the
job, and they expect the government of Ghana to pay them.
67 billion.
67 billion.
Do you have sectoral breakdown? Is this roads? Is this health?
I have sectorial breakdown.
For the 67?
The biggest one were coming from the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Over 21 billion.
Okay.
From one ministry. And the rest were scattered. And I can share the data.
So about 2/5
statement. Yes. Coming from one ministry.
Roads Ministry.
Roads Ministry. And to my surprise, most of these contracts were awarded without authorization. Simple put, without commencement certificate. Because if you look at the PFM Act, the Public Financial Management Act, you require authorization from the Ministry of Finance before you award those contracts. And these are debt that they have left behind for the next government to service.
Was there like a time frame within when these contracts were signed? Was it early in the administration? Was it in the first term? Was it in the last year? Have you done that analysis?
I have commissioned an audit, and the Auditor General is working with the Big Four to give us the dates, the levels, and the details to ascertain the eligibility and the validity, whether they are valid for us to pay.
Validity.
Or yes, we need to understand that. And so the audit is ongoing, and I've said that until the audit is done,
you're not
completed.
So 67 billion cedis in what you can call arrears.
Yes.
And then 194 billion separate. These are contracts.
Yes, commitment.
They expect payment, but have works been done?
The
Do you know if works have been done?
The contracts that are in the pipeline are various. Some probably may have done the work, and they are yet to, when you finish the work, you have to wait for certain processes to go through before certificate will be issued. So they are not certificates yet. And some are work in progress, some are jobs that has been awarded, but the contractor is yet to complete. And I'm saying the audit will ascertain all of that.
Okay, so fair enough. So